from Hawaii.
Hello, blessed people. This is Brian Dawkins.
I'm John Randle.
This is Franco Harris.
I'm Bart Oates.
And aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha from Hawaii.
The stressors are gone because I'm in Hawaii.
Welcome to the NFL Alumni Lounge Aloha from Hawaii special. Charlie Boots here at the Prince Waikiki overlooking Waikiki Beach. It is absolutely stunning here, a gem in Oahu. We have Diamond Head to the side, all types of waves breaking in the distance. It is straight out of a dream. And ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be joined by some of the Gridiron's greatest, talking about their life dreams, Pro Bowl memories here in Hawaii. So let's get the party started right now. We're going to bring in a special weapon, Weapon X to be exact. Ladies and gentlemen, Pro Football Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins. Doc, how are you?
I'm absolutely blessed, brother. Absolutely blessed.
Hawaii's seen a lot of you. 9 Pro Bowls for Weapon X.
No, I really enjoyed my time in Hawaii, man. Going to Hawaii, making that trip, going across the water was such a wonderful experience for me and my family.
How high was your sense of pride?
It was even before then to get that, for years it was, William Thomas, Willie T was in Troy a couple of years. So my time finally came, and when that time came, and it was such feeling like you finally have arrived a little bit, being a professional player and then being selected amongst one of the best at your position in the league, and then flying over, landing, getting the lace put on around your head, taking the pictures, and the pineapples are so much sweeter over in Hawaii.
Did you get to check out the Dole Factory while you were here?
It is absolutely huge. They have a little small train that takes you around and shows you everything, but so that and seeing some of the waterfalls over there as well, me and my family got a chance to see those things. So again, it's just to get over there to experience that, and then not just for that, but to know that you are one of the best at doing what you do in the league during that time. And again, all of that just was so many great memories.
What's up, NFL? Gotta bring the Pro Bowl back to Hawaii.
Hawaiians are known for having a warrior spirit. There's one warrior we have to bring on the Aloha from Hawaii special, and that would be a larger-than-life legend that took it from undrafted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, 7-time Pro Bowler, the man, John Randle. John, how are you?
Great, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. You have deeper ties to Hawaii than most.
Yes, I do. Besides coming up for the Pro Bowl, so many fun memories. I actually got married in Hawaii.
So what made Hawaii the dream place for you to get married?
You know what? It goes back to when I was a youngster, watching Hawaii Five-0 and watching the show, the island, the Hawaiian vibe, listening to Don Ho. I just always envisioned myself going there. So I go there for the Pro Bowl. Then when I got engaged to my wife, who's from Minnesota, she was thinking we're getting married in Minnesota, and I'm from Texas. I'm like, no, let's do this in Hawaii.
Either way, when John Randle comes to Hawaii, it's to ring bells.
Dude, it was amazing. I mean, palm trees, the beautiful air. It was just spectacular. And, I waited till after the Pro Bowl was over and everybody's gone. So I didn't have all that pressure of the guys around me. But you know what? I didn't factor in that there was going to be still some celebrities there. Scottie Pippen was there.
No.
They were having yes, and Kelly Keeney, the golfer, was there at my wedding. Dude, it was everything that I expected it to be. And Hawaii has such a close fondness in my heart to my wife. Actually, I got something to show you.
Oh, what's that, a power stick?
It's like a cane, but I keep it in my office, man.
That's Chief Randle, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, if we're talking sticks, I know you're a full-blown golf addict. I just got to golf the official course of the Prince Waikiki here, which was the Hawaiian Prince Golf Club. It was incredible. Did you get to golf while you were here on the island?
Of course I have. I've played over there. I played golf with Eric Dickinson, Lawrence Taylor, Steve Hutchinson, Tiki Barber. It's just such an amazing place to play golf, but also just, to me, it's the perfect place to go. I mean, it's Hawaii, baby. I mean, Don Ho back in the day. I remember one time we were down on Waikiki Beach and he was playing his ukulele. Man, I was like, that's a true vacation. That's the true Pro Bowl feeling. That's what you talking about, going across the water to Hawaii, not Orlando, not Disney World. Disney World, no offense, is for kids. Hawaii, that's for the big boys, baby.
It's for the big boys, baby. Cheers to the great history that our game has had here on the island of Hawaii. And now, a very special guest, a 15-year NFL alumni, 4-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Pro Bowler, and most importantly, a hometown kid, Mr. Jesse Sapolu. How are you, Jess?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, the whole island is good now because we all know if you're going to do a Pro Bowl party, you do it with the hometown boy.
Well, I'm glad they think that way.
So, growing up on the island, how did the NFL get onto your radar?
Back in the day when there's just 3 channels and there was only one game per weekend, and that's the game every kid would watch. And the NFL seems like an impossible dream. But once I started getting a scholarship offers, then I went to college and I had a great freshman year, and sophomore year was all conference and honorable mention All-American. Then there was some noise as far as the NFL. And
pro sports in general in Hawaii, what's the most popular?
No question, it's the NFL. NFL's king.
So for you to not only achieve that, but you become an all-star and you get to head home for the Pro Bowl, how good did that feel?
You know, I was one of those kids that kind of snuck into the stadium, even when the Pro Bowl was played there. You know, I climbed over the fence, grabbed my flip-flops and took off running before security could get a hold of me. And I remember watching as a kid that's not quite in high school yet, thinking, wow, this must be awesome, you know. And then to go to the NFL and win some Super Bowls and be the first University of Hawaii player to be selected to the Pro Bowl. And then the very next year, they switched my position, and we went on to win the Super Bowl versus San Diego, and then got selected again, at a different position. You couldn't ask for anything better. We got in, like at 9:30 at night to the baggage claim and the major news networks there. Of course, we had some superstars with Dion and Steve and Jerry, but then some of those news networks came to me because I was a local boy coming back after winning a Super Bowl to play in that game. Those are some of the highlights of my career.
I got to tell you, Jess, when we started putting the special together, the 2 most requested names by far were yourself and Franco Harris.
Oh, wow. One of my idols growing up, for me to do a couple of appearances with him, he respected me because he was watching, our domination in the 80s, but he had no idea that I was like a little kid in the candy store trying to play it cool,
Now, before you go, you got to teach the NFL alumni at least one Hawaiian word.
The Ohana spirit. Ohana spirit means family. The NFL always feel like family. When the Pro Bowl left, a lot of people were brokenhearted in Hawaii because it was the one game that they identified with to see the stars live. But I think that spirit of family, if the NFL was to come back, it wouldn't be a problem for the people to take them back.
The NFL and Hawaii is Ohana, baby.
Ohana, absolutely.
Since we're talking Ohana, let's bring on the family member that we were just talking about. Pro Football Hall of Famer and 9-time Pro Bowler, Pittsburgh Steeler, Franco Harris. Franco, how are you?
Aloha, Charlie. Aloha.
I'm loving that shirt.
Thank you. I tell you what, wearing my Aloha shirts here in Pittsburgh, boy, it makes me feel good. And I want you to know that these orchids have been here all year, not just for today.
Just to be clear, Franco keeps the Hawaiian vibes through the roof year round.
Oh yeah, I try to keep that Hawaiian mode all the time. Aloha.
Franco, take us to your first Pro Bowl in Hawaii. How was that experience?
I mean, that is paradise. And we're there to play a football game? Come on. You want a hula and you want to do all that stuff. I'm talking about football practice. You really felt like it was a treat and an award for going to the Pro Bowl. Now you have to remember, right, that going to the Pro Bowl usually in January, and January weather in Pittsburgh. Come on.
Frigid. We call that forget about it weather.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I can't wait to go. And then the people just, so friendly and so beautiful. Different cuisines there. I mean, different Asian foods, the local Hawaiian foods. And it was the first time for me to try sushi, right?
You never tried sushi?
Well, this is in the 70s, right? And it's like sushi, and it's like, wow, so all these new experiences, was just incredible. I enjoyed it, and I got a lot out of it. And like as you see, I'm still wearing my Aloha shirt.
Franco, thank you so much for taking the time to come and catch up with us. Mahalo.
Thank you for having me and talking about this, talking my memory about this, bringing back some good feelings. And mahalo for letting me share this time with you.
Now this is what we call the sweet life right here at the Prince Waikiki. And our next guest is quite the prince himself. In fact, he's a walking trophy case with 5 Pro Bowls, 3 Super Bowl rings, and the president of the NFL Alumni, Bart Oates. Bart, how are you?
Thank you, Charlie. I'm feeling great. There in the tropics right now, just at least in my mind.
That is a beautiful ocean. You better watch out for the sharks, though, being so close, Bart.
Well, the tide's out right now, so I'm okay.
Take us to your first Pro Bowl and the first time you touched down in Hawaii.
So I played, I was an older rookie. I was 28 when I got into the league because I played in the USFL for 3 years. And then I was 5 years in the league, 6 years, before I even got my first Pro Bowl. So it was like I was this older guy. I was in my 30s already, hadn't been in the Pro Bowl. And in those years, the Pro Bowl was the week after the Super Bowl. For guys, right, guys who weren't getting paid a lot of money and loved to have, trips with your family, it was awesome. Even the quarterbacks would go. And go figure. The crazy thing is that we had to be at the airport at, I want to say it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was this chartered flight that would go from Tampa, which it took everybody, both, the players on both sides. We're all sitting in this little area, small area with the Buffalo Bill players. They had like 10 guys. We had like 7 or 8 guys. It's a little bit awkward because they're not very happy and we're very happy. So we had to temper ourselves. They had to show that they weren't as pissed off as they were, etc. And it's figure I win a Super Bowl and I go to the Pro Bowl. Life that's how good it was. I'd also learned earlier that month that I'd passed the bar. Like within a couple of months, I'd Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, passed the bar. I'm thinking this is pretty normal.
Double bowls in a bar, not bad.
It was awesome, yeah.
Would you like to see the Pro Bowl return to Hawaii?
Yeah, I'd like to return it to Hawaii. So I'll volunteer. I'll volunteer to lead the charge.
Well, look, I hope while leading the charge, you could still wear that visor with such swag.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Now, if you had to tell a first-timer one activity to do, what would it be?
Go surfing. How do you not go surfing?
Big Bart Oates on a surfboard? Where'd you pick up surfing?
I tried it a couple, when I was just in Hawaii. Just tried. I can't say I didn't pick it up. I'm on like this 15-foot board, man. It's like, it could have taken me across the Pacific Ocean. It was so big. One year I almost drowned. I got out there and I was just standing there and it just boom. The undercurrent just dragged me out there, and I thought I was a pretty good swimmer, As I tried to swim back in, I could, the current was pulling me out, and I got exhausted. I was almost embarrassed. I was a lot embarrassed, but but literally I almost drowned. And it's fortunate that some small guy on a boogie board, he came by. I grabbed that boogie board, and I held on for dear life. And otherwise, I'm not sure I would have made it. You have so much to do. It's like the scenery, the weather, the food is awesome. It's fresh, and I'm saying I could have lived here when it was a very non-inhabited place.
Well, we can inhabit now. The NFL Alumni actually has some really exciting news regarding Hawaii.
We're we're actually creating a chapter out there. We got some guys that want to do a chapter and have a chapter. And I said, I love it. I'll come out and help you guys set this thing up. Count me in.
That is incredible. Bart, aloha, and thank you so much for coming on.
Oh yeah, well, enjoy. I'm enjoying it.
Now, I need one of you to call Elon Musk because a spaceship just landed from the moon. Pro Football Hall of Famer and 9-time Pro Bowler Warren Moon is in the house. Warren, how are you?
I am doing great, man. How are you?
I'm in paradise, man, truly.
Yeah, especially for your first time. You're a virgin out there.
Yeah, you know what? You're looking at the biggest virgin in Waikiki.
Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Talk about dangerous. You were carving up the CFL before your 9 Pro Bowls. Tell us about your first Pro Bowl experience.
It was really good. I had been to Hawaii many times before. Actually, before I even signed in the NFL, I went to the Pro Bowl and met a lot of the different guys around the league and just kind of got the whole experience because we met with a couple of teams over there. So I kind of knew what it was all about before I went, but actually playing in it was even more of a thrill because it was my first one. And that was my whole reason for coming back to the NFL, was to see if I could play at the top level of the National Football League. And once you make it to the Pro Bowl, you pretty much arrive.
And that arrival was so deserved. Now, what are you thinking of the optics flying into Hawaii?
When you land in Hawaii, you're landing in paradise, man. It's everything you imagine it to be. They got the palm trees and the wind is blowing and you got the beach right here and the mountains behind it. Diamond Head as you're landing into the airport. You're out there in the middle of the ocean. You're pretty much isolated when you get out into those Hawaiian islands, and you feel like that. And that's what you want to do when you go on vacation. You want to feel like you're isolated away from the rest of the world. You just want to get away from all your problems, get away from bad weather, get away from whatever it is you're dealing with on the mainland, and go to this island resort and just veg.
The Pro Bowl now seems like guys are vegging out, but on the field, why'd you guys play so much harder in the Pro Bowl?
Well, there was a lot more pride, I think, by the guys playing back in those days. The AFC really wanted to beat the NFC and vice versa. And then money was an object. We weren't making the money that these guys are making today. So the difference between making $25,000 and $50,000 was huge back in those days. That was an incentive too. The team that won, got paid double from what the team that lost did. So that was an incentive.
Yeah, it's your question. Any guys go missing before the game?
No guys went missing, but there was a lot of guys that were late for practice, believe me.
That may be the most impressive football stat that nobody ever mentions.
Where are you going to go, though? You're on an island. You can't go too many places, so you're going to get found. And it's not like, you're not going to stick out like a sore thumb when you're a guy that's probably 6'4", 300 pounds walking around the island. So they're going to say, oh, that guy must be here for the Pro Bowl.
On strictly enjoying yourself, just a pure tourist day, what is Warren Moon doing in Hawaii?
Well, you definitely want to play golf, especially if you're a golfer. And you got to remember the Pro Bowl is more of a reward than it is a game. And you want to make sure the guys have a good time while they're there, and you want them to come back. You definitely want to go out and snorkel if you can. To Wanama Bay, which is a very popular place there. It's just a snorkeling bay. There's just a lot of beauty. And then you want to go over to the North Shore where you have the huge waves. You hear about the big surfing competitions where you have these 40, 50, 60-foot waves. Well, you actually get a chance to see those things break on the beach, and it is an amazing thing if you've never seen it in person. So those are some of the things that you really want to see. And then maybe go up to Diamond Head. You can hike up the Diamond Head. It's a nice hike throughout the day. It's beautiful views from up there, and plus you're getting some cardio into your workout to get rid of some of those Mai Tais you might have had.
The Moon Man has me ready to relocate. Warren, thank you so much for coming on.
Exactly. Man, you have a great time out there your first time. And make sure you go to Duke's and get you a Mai Tai.
Thank you for joining us on the NFL Alumni Lounge's Aloha from Hawaii. Cheers to our partners at the Prince Waikiki and Eleve Health. You can hear much more from Aloha from Hawaii right now on Spotify and Apple. These interviews are available full length. More stories, more laughs, more golden memories from the Pro Bowl. Check them out right now at the NFL Alumni Lounge. I'm your host, Charlie Boots, and I'll be seeing you right here next time in the lounge. They could get me back to the mainland. Cheers.
Even though they moved the Pro Bowl to Orlando and all that, I go, nah, not the same. Not the same. No,